society, and culture.
The National Basketball Association is investigating what it calls disturbing and offensive comments apparently made by a team owner.
Explosive allegations on the eve of the Warriors' playoff game against the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers,
Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling was caught on tape
Making racist remarks about African Americans.
And it bothered you.
I'm just saying, in your lousy fucking Instagrams, you don't have to have yourself walking with black people.
I saw someone I admire Magic Johnson.
Okay, good. And I'm just saying that it's too bad you can't admire him privately. And during your entire fucking life, your whole life, admire him. Bring him here, feed him, fuck him, I don't care. You can do anything, but don't put him on an Instagram so the world has to see it, so they have to call me. And don't bring him into my games, okay?
And I was shocked. I was mad, I was upset. You know, the first thing I thought was, I knew I shouldn't have come here. I should have stayed in Boston. That crossed my mind, you know, but I was here.
Let's boycott and don't go.
I think a lot of people around the NBA are horrified, and it does have an impact on the Clippers. Doc Rivers, one of the most respected coaches in the NBA, one of the smartest coaches in the NBA, puts him in an incredibly awkward position. Who wants to feel like the person that you work for might feel this way about you? It's awful.
Coach, as of this morning, how would you judge the psyche of your players after them?
I really have no idea. I mean, honestly, just being honest, I don't know. You know, from a coaching standpoint, you're concerned. They've been pulled in a million directions. We had a practice, and I didn't know what to wear. I mean, that's so stupid. I kept putting my Clipper jersey on, my shirt that says the LA Clippers coach. And I took it off because I didn't know like what I should do. Like, I didn't have any education in this situation.
The Los Angeles Clippers are in the middle of the playoffs. Sources say the players are furious about this.
I decided to put it on. I'm the head coach, wear the shirt. And I walk in and all the players have theirs off. So, okay, I got this one wrong. I knew that immediately. And I start talking and the players are all with their arms folded. And if you've been in a room talking and their arms folded, the talk's not going well. Like, you gotta know that. And I always carry a blue pad with my notes. I got that from Riley. And I put it down because this was gonna be an all script talk. And I said, okay. My name is Glenn Rivers. I'm from Maywood. I'm black. And they start laughing. I said, no, I am. I'm a black American. And you see me as a coach and something that represents the Clippers. And you don't see my blackness right now. And I said, if anyone in this room think you're more upset than me, let me tell you about me. And let me tell you the things that have happened in my life. You know, being called nigger in grade school and in high school and living in a segregated Chicago, watching race riots. When I was married to my ex-wife, I had nigger written on the car. Her tires were slit. Skinheads broke in my house in San Antonio and burned my house down. And so I told my team that my mom and dad right now would be screaming at me, we are never going to be victims. I said that a lot during that whole episode. I said it publicly and to our team. We are not gonna be a victim. We're not gonna be a victim. We're not gonna be a victim. I said that over and over. I told them whatever they decide is up to them. We will not play if you don't wanna play. And I said, but I will tell you this. When I was a little kid and I was in the backyard and I was shooting hoops by myself and I was making that fake crowd noise every time I made the game-winning shot, I said, fucking Donald Sterling was not in one of those dreams. He was not. And I'll be damned if we're gonna allow that guy to get into my dream and end that. I said, so it's your choice, but Donald Sterling wins if we don't play. I'm going to tell you now, I'm speaking on behalf of the team, so the players are not going to deal with this issue. That's adversity that we didn't want, but we have it. We have to deal with it. We'll deal with it internally, but we're not going to share it with anybody else. We got to decide what we're going to do as a group. And my whole fear was that one of my players would say something, that then they became the story, and the spotlight went off of Donald. And I needed that light to stay on him. So I think the biggest statement we can make as men, not as black men, as men, is to stick together and show how strong we are of a group. I needed him out.
This guy is an idiot, Mark.
He is a complete idiot, and he's also a racist.
Even President Obama weighing in.
When ignorant folks want to advertise their ignorance, you don't really have to do anything, you just let them talk.
Our message is that we're going to let no one or nothing stop us from what we want to do. We decided to play.
The Clippers players have chosen to play rather than boycotting Game 4 against the Warriors. But that doesn't mean they didn't make their feelings known. Players symbolically shed their warm-ups in unison as they took the floor in an act of public solidarity.
We created our own protests. You know, the players came up with the protest of taking their jerseys off and having them inside out. I didn't even know that. They came up with that.
And you know, you got race baiters out there who want crazy stuff to happen. I'm glad the players played.
That was an emotional, tough stretch for me and our team.
Going to each and every member on the bench here, maybe 45 minutes sleep over the last couple of days.
You put in scenarios. You just do them. You deal them, and you're going to get some wrong. I've learned that you're not going to get everyone right. So what? You got to keep going.
Doc Rivers has navigated his team for an emotional 4 days.
Don't get me wrong. You learn. You don't forget. But you can't ever be a victim. You know, I think when people see me now, they always make the assumption with all of us that's had any success that it's all good all the time. And we know that's not true.
The Celtics have really struggled. They have one of the worst road records in the NBA.
When I took the job with the Celtics, I knew we were going to be bad, and I knew I was going to have to sustain some hits. But I thought we could make it work.
It's been a pretty bumpy road here in Boston. Just getting absolutely pounded.
People were scrambling to get me fired. Lots of people pushing for me to get fired. And Danny Ainge believed that I was a really good coach. And he never wavered from it.
Just a heartbreaking loss for this team, Rob.
Well, they're used to it.
And then that year, all of a sudden, the stars line up and everything works out great. We pull the trade off, and now we have Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. But the concern was that all three were leaders, and so I knew that my work would be hard. And I remember sitting in my office, and I told them, if we're gonna win, we're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to change. If you want to shoot every time, wrong team. If you want to do whatever you want to, wrong team. And that was the challenge, getting them to buy in to being a team.
Gimana caranya ya? Dulu guys, gue bingung.
I was a trustee at Marquette, a board member, for 17 years. And I was sitting at the end of a long board meeting that we had been going over public safety. And at the very end of the meeting, a lady walked up to me and said, Doc, your team's gonna be amazing. Have you ever heard of Ubuntu? And I obviously said, no, Ubuntu, what the hell is that? She wrote the word down. She says, I'm not gonna share it with you, but I'm telling you, you need to look this up and study it. It's not a word, Doc. She kept saying that. It's a way of life. It's a way of living. And I bet she said that over. It's not a word. Look the word up and then become it.
We have something in our African community, something that is very difficult to put into English. It is called Ubuntu. Ubuntu.
And I went back that night and I looked it up. 6 in the morning, I am still on the bed with papers everywhere. I said, wow, it's perfect.
Ubuntu is the essence of being human. And it says a solitary human being is a contradiction in terms. I have to learn from other human beings how to be human.
A person is a person through other people. I can't be all I can be unless you are all you can be. I can never be threatened by you because you're good. Because the better you are, the better I am. This is what saved Africa. You know, Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela basically preached this word.
We are all South African. Now this is the time to heal the old wounds and to build a new South Africa.
Moving forward as one country, Mandela joined hands with his white vice president, a man who once supported apartheid.
And I broke this word down in all these different parts and how I can implement it to the team. And I chose the rookies would be the perfect messenger. I said, okay, I'm gonna teach you this word and I need you guys to sell this to the team. I kept saying, this is not a joke. This is for real. This is, you guys